everyone, Alicia here from Stretch It app, and on today's episode of Stretch It Fundamentals, we go over a modification that you can use if you're having a tough time with your butterfly stretch. The butterfly stretch can be challenging for many people in trying to find that hip tilt angle to properly target the inner thighs and the hips. So in this video, we'll go over a lying down modification that will better help us target the inner thighs and a little bit of hip. So I'll see you there. In the butterfly stretch, where you see soles of feet together, knees wide, you access the stretch in targeting inner thighs and glutes by leaning forward. But I understand that if you have a hard time doing so, where your pelvis is rolling back, when you reach forward, you feel it primarily in your back and not on the legs. So a few things we can do seated is to place blocks maybe under your knees so they have a little bit of support from under, and grabbing the ankles and trying to move again, not just from rounding forward, but you want to take the entire pelvis forward. Even if you're not reaching the arms down on the ground, you can try to at least find this angle and better target the inner thighs as well as the hips. If sitting is tough, then I find it best to then go on your back, same shape, soles of feet together, knees wide, and you can even place the blocks underneath your thighs for support. And this is a great setup if you wanted to stay here for a minute or longer. You have the support of the floor. You don't have to worry about holding anything uncomfortably. But this is where gravity can take over. If you had a hard time feeling the stretch on the inner thighs, you can take the blocks out from underneath and let the knees pull down carefully. Another cue that we might have had a hard time feeling when seated is the arch forward. In this case, since we're on our back, you want to press the tailbone down into the ground and purposefully arch. So if we were seated, this is what we're looking to accomplish when trying to move our torso forward in space toward our feet. The opposite is if we were rolling back on our pelvis. The equivalent to that when lying down is pressing the low back onto the floor, which is what we're trying to work opposite from, right? We want to arch instead of curl. But you have the floor now as feedback to feel the difference, right? Feel that arch while pressing the legs down. You can gently rock them side to side if you wanted. And to come out of the stretch, bring your hands outside the legs and pull them together. And if you wanted to revisit those same cues when seated and you return to soles of feet together, you can even have the blocks behind you. Remember what it felt like when rounding, that we were pressing our low back against the floor. Let's make that low back tunnel. Arch away from the floor and see if you can now move your torso forward in space by anteriorly tilting from the hip to better access the stretch in the butterfly position. If you wish to improve your flexibility, make sure you check out our classes on the app. You can find a link down in the description box below. And if you want to see more classes like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel.